Hey everybody, Gunnison on the cover. Today is Saturday, August 17th, 2019, and it is 1:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in New Jersey. Yes, I'm doing an early video because I got to work tonight. And let's see, temperatures are about 80, low 80s, but the humidity is way up and it's a little uncomfortable. But there is a nice little breeze in the air, got some clouds, so. Anyway, somebody sent me this video and I'm just going to make a few comments about this video. It's in caption, Tyrant Alert, Cary, Ohio Police First Amendment Audit, and it's on Community Control's channel. It shows it has 826 subscribers. Whether this is the person in the video, I don't know. The video is the body cam video from the officer, and let me just set this up for you. I'm just going to talk real quick and then you can watch the video and then we'll get back and have a little more powwow about this. But basically what it comes down to is an officer's driving down the road and he sees a young couple, look like they're in their 20s, pushing a carriage, and he goes by and he waves to them. Nice gesture. And the male subject of the couple proceeded to give the officer the finger. And I'll let you watch the video and we'll come back.
What's up, man? Hey, it's cool. It's cool. You can record me because I'm recording you too. All right. Next time I wave at you, man, you can wave with all your hands, man, all your fingers instead of just your middle finger.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one.
That's freedom of speech, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you continue, man, and you want to act like this, I'll just take you to jail for disorderly conduct, persistent disorderly conduct.
I believe this.
So continue to walk and don't say a word. Don't say a word. I'm going to take you to jail if you continue. Continue walking.
You want another civil suit on your hands, motherfucker? You better
Continue
go.
walking.
You want your sergeant down here right now.
Continue walking.
Call your sergeant.
Continue walking.
Call your motherfucking sergeant.
4200, send me another unit down there.
Sitting here with my kid and my fucking wife, and you're just going to sit here and harass me like this.
I waved at you. I simply waved at you.
And I went like this.
I'm at Clan West.
Couldn't even hold my hand up.
Look, all I did was I waved at you as a nice gesture to you and your wife as you were walking. Okay? And then you turn around and flip me off.
Your point?
Okay? So I stopped to ask you what your problem is.
Is that a crime?
It's disorderly conduct.
It is not.
It is.
Did I offend you in
Yeah,
some
there's
way?
other people walking around. Look at these people, these kids.
These kids that are seeing you yell at me?
Yeah, because I
Dude,
simply
get out of
stopped.
my face.
No, you're not free to leave. You're not free to go. You're going to stay right here. As a matter of fact, will you take the dog, please?
No.
Will you take the dog?
I'm not sure. He didn't radio out with anybody.
Come on with the disturbance. Okay.
Are you serious, dude?
Yep. Go ahead. You're not under arrest. You're being detained because you're acting hostile towards me.
Here,
You want another unit down here, so I'm going to send you another unit. My chief's actually going to come down
I'd
here.
like you to know my lawyer will be being called right after this.
Okay.
My family attorney.
All right. You're not under arrest. Okay.
I am being detained.
You
right now.
are being detained.
That means I am under arrest.
No, you're not.
I asked the crime I committed.
There's two different things.
I
Okay.
asked the crime I committed.
Come on over here.
Don't touch me, sir, please.
Okay. Well.
You say I'm not under arrest?
You're detained.
Hey, this dude's illegally arresting me right now.
You're not under
walking
arrest.
with my kid.
You're not under arrest.
Walking with my dog, and he is arresting me.
No.
Because I was walking with my dog.
You're not under arrest, man.
Swear to God, I have nothing on me or nothing.
You're not under arrest.
I'm really getting put in the back of your car,
4200, I got
sir?
one detained. Come on over here.
You're clear.
Getting arrested here for nothing. My girl and my dog are over here.
You're not under arrest.
Why do I have handcuffs on me then?
Because you're being detained. Because you're refusing to identify yourself.
You never asked me to identify me.
I did.
Your camera's on, ain't it?
Yep.
My camera's on. Everybody's camera's on. When did you say I want your identification?
I need your identification.
I'll have it on me.
Okay. What's your name?
I don't know.
You don't know your name?
What's the crime I committed?
Go ahead and kick your feet in. Kick your feet in.
Sir, can I talk to you?
Yep, this is my lieutenant. You can talk to him.
I was walking here.
Talk to my
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, LT, so I'm sitting here at the stop sign, right? I'm just watching the stop sign as this guy and his wife and kid walk past. I wave as a nice gesture, so he turns around and he flips me off. So I turn around and come back here. I was like, hey man, what's your problem? He goes, why'd you just, I wave at you and you flip me off. Is there some kind of issue? And his wife has been cooperative, haven't had any issues with his wife or his kid or anything like that. I said, man, what's your issue? And he starts cussing at me. I said, hey man, you can't cuss like that. You can't act like that. You got people and other kids and stuff walking around here. So he refused to identify himself. I said, hey, you got an ID on you? He goes, I ain't got to identify you. So due to his hostile and turbulent behavior, I put him in handcuffs.
Well, at that point, you have a disorderly, don't you?
Right, exactly. So
Not
that's
so
why
much
he's in
with
the
middle finger, but how he responded after you.
Yep, exactly. So that's why he's in the backseat of my car. He's still refusing to identify himself. So. Hey, Chief. I'm sitting here at the stop sign like when you passed me a little bit ago. Gentleman walks past me, and I sit there and I wave at him and his wife as they're walking. They got a kid in a stroller and a dog. Okay. He turns around and he flips me off.
Oh, nice.
So I flip around, I come back, and I was like, hey man, what's your problem? I said, I wave at you and your wife as a kind gesture, and you flip me off. Is there some kind of problem? And then he starts getting loud and stuff like that. I said, hey, you can't act like that, man. There's other kids and stuff around here. Then he's like, oh, I'll falsify, I'm being harassed, and this guy's gonna arrest me. I said, you're not arrested, you're being detained. So he starts cussing. I got other kids and families and stuff walking out of the church. I don't know who it is. He's refusing to identify himself. Disorderly conduct? Oh, she's being fine.
Who she say is?
She hasn't told me that. I've been dealing with him, so.
All right.
So, disorderly conduct?
Yeah, if he'll identify himself, he won't. You have to take him
Yep.
I don't think it's against the law. You said it wasn't against the law.
All right, ma'am. All right. What is his name? Okay.
I don't want to disrespect him.
Okay, I understand that, man, but here's the thing, okay? Like I said, I waved at you guys. You waved at me, he flipped me off, okay?
What's going to happen if I give him his name? Nothing?
Okay, here's the situation. Let me just explain it to you, okay? So like I wave at you and you and your family, okay? Because I'm just out here trying to, community policing, okay? So when I see you guys, I want to wave at you and acknowledge you, okay? He flips me off, which, I mean, he can do whatever he wants. I come around here to make contact with him to say, hey, man, what's your problem? And then all of a sudden, you heard how he started to get loud, right? Okay, I got other families. Okay, you can't disturb other families and things like that, because once you start doing that, now it's a disorderly conduct. Okay, so either he just identifies himself, I write him a disorderly conduct ticket, and it's done and over with, and he goes on his way, or he refuses to identify himself. I have to take him in at that point.
His name's Kieran Smith.
Kieran Smith. Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Because a police officer.
Chief, it's Kieran Smith.
Is there something wrong with what I did?
Yeah, potentially. I'll have
I
Levi
was
run him real quick.
attempting to.
420.
I'm being detained right now because I went through way back at an officer who did not like it.
Will you run Kieran Smith for me, please?
Here, clear, stand by.
I would like my lawyer called.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry it turned into this, okay? I simply waving at you. I mean, if he doesn't like the police, that's fine. He's entitled to that, okay? Well, like I said, I turn around and see what the problem is. I don't understand why. I go out of my way to be nice to you guys, and he goes out of his way to flip me off and then cause a disturbance after that, okay? Just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Okay?
Did he flip him off?
I didn't see what he did.
He's claiming that he raised his hand to wave at you.
No, it was clearly that he flipped me off, and then like I said, I just pulled up next to him to say, hey man, is there some kind of issue? I wave at you and your family, and then he wanted to get hostile with me, refused to identify himself, and at that point, now he's loud and causing a scene to other people.
Well, like I said, it's not really
way against the law to flip off the police like it should be, but
Right.
it would raise an alarm. I would approach someone and ask them too, but it just took me off.
Yep.
At that point, if you became disorderly and you think you have a good case against disorderly, then
I'm just gonna write him a ticket for disorderly conduct and get him on his way, since she identified him for me. So. Anything back on that 200?
Okay, so what do you think about that? So I watched this video. I'm assuming I got the video because somebody wanted me to repost it or whatever, and I guess I am reposting it, but I'm doing a story on it. I'm going to analyze it. This is just my opinion, based on my vast knowledge of nothing. I have done audits, I've interacted with police officers, I've talked to chiefs of police, I'm well known here in the county. I have a little bit of, I would say I have a little bit of credibility on this subject. So you have an officer going down the road and he sees you and he waves to you. I've had it, I've been places where a cop went by and he waved to me and I waved back. Or I walk past an officer and he says hello to me, I say hello back to him. It's always been my policy in life, if somebody is nice to me, I am nice back to them. Doesn't matter whether they are a cop, a garbage man, the banker, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. I see them as a human when they're being nice to me. So this cop was being nice. Nothing wrong with a cop being nice. We need a lot more cops out there being nice. Now, whether he was being genuine or not, I don't know. I think he was. That's just my opinion, based on the video that I watched and you watched. So this kid gives the cop the finger back. Now, the cop is a human being. I know some of you out there might want to debate that, but I think some of them are out there are humans, and they try to be humans, and sometimes they get caught being a cop instead of being a human. So I'm going to give this officer the benefit of the doubt that he is a human. I didn't really see anything in there that would make me think anything less. So the cop does something nice gesture, and he gets the bird back. So naturally, any human being's response is going to be, what is this guy's problem? Trying to be nice and you're being a jerk? So the cop stops, he gets out of the car, and he approaches them. And the guy pushing the carriage or walking with his girlfriend there, whatever the story is, proceeds to start being nasty. And talking about, oh, it's my First Amendment right. It's all, you know, the minute I see them start saying, I got a right, I know my rights, I know that I'm dealing with an idiot. Because anybody who knows their rights, it's not going to convey it. They're not going to say it. They're going to do it. See, that's the difference between a pro and an amateur. A pro shows the cop. An amateur runs off in the mouth and says, I know my rights. I know my rights. You may know your rights, but you don't know how to be civil. So the cop and this guy proceed to go back and forth at it, and the cop is trying to say, look, you know, I'm trying to be nice to you, and you got to give me the bird? It's not cool, and I agree with the cop. It's not cool. But the cop, on the other hand, got out of the car and was doing what bad cops do, which is what people, I say it all the time, harass, extort, hurt, and always escalate. So the cop did get out of the car, and he was harassing this guy to some extent, and he was trying to escalate it, which he did. He escalated it into an arrest of disorderly conduct because the guy was running his mouth and took the bait from the cop. The cop baited him. So I want to give the cop a thumbs down for doing that. The cop should have just said he's a jerk, and he should have just been on his way, but the cop didn't. Now, the dopey guy, he continues with it, and it just turns into a bad situation, and the guy ends up getting arrested, and now he has to go hire a lawyer, and now they're going to have this big debate whether he had a right to do what he did, which I agree. The kid does have a right to give the cop the finger. But does the kid really have a right to sit there and be nasty to the cop? Probably not. It's probably not a good thing. Whether it's your right or not, it's probably not going to have a good outcome, which it did not in this video. So this kid has brought this all on himself for being a jerk. That's right, he's a jerk. If somebody's being nice to you, you be nice back to them. And I always say, you don't have to be friends with a cop. You can't be friends with a cop, but that doesn't mean you can't be friendly. And when they're friendly to you and they're not investigating, which this cop was not investigating him, you be friendly back. You play the game. Maybe the cop is just doing what the sergeant tells him to do. Hey, we got to be nice to the community, whether it's genuine or not. The same thing back in return. You know, maybe you think cops are all turds and jerks and all that, but still be nice back. It's a lot easier than getting yourself arrested. Now, this kid probably doesn't have a lot of money. He probably has no money. Now some family member has to help him out with a lawyer and to try to beat this charge, and then they'll try to be a lawsuit because the cop violated his First Amendment right. But I think the jerk, and that's why I'm going to call this kid a jerk, he violated the cop. The cop was being nice. Exactly. He was being nice and he was being a jerk back. That's not what being a First Amendment audit is. I don't think that was a First Amendment audit. I think that was just a jerk audit. And the jerk was exposed. And the cop was exposed too for doing what he did, which was escalated. That's exactly what he did. So my advice to anybody out there, cop goes by and waves to you, you wave back and say, hello officer, how are you today? Hope everything's okay. If you decide you want to be that one and test things and give him the finger and the cop stops and gets out, I strongly suggest you keep your mouth shut and keep walking. Just say, am I being detained? Am I free to go? Because if the jerk had done that, he would not have that problem on his hands that he has. And let me say this also, when you are out there on the street dealing with a cop, the cop is the judge, the jury, and the jailer. He is in charge. You are not. He is the one that's controlling things if you don't do things right. And when that cop got out and started talking to him, it was time to shut up. And that kid didn't do it. So I'm going to give a thumbs down to the kid. He failed as an auditor. I don't think he was an auditor because he didn't have any camera on. This is body cam that we're looking at. So he failed. The cop failed for not just continuing on. So the cops sought out to get even, and he was successful. So let this be a training video to you people out there, how not to behave in public to the police when they are being nice to you. I'm going to include the video. You saw the video, so we don't have to tell you that. And let me see. So yeah, let me know what you think about that video. Let me know what you think about my opinion. It might be a little controversial, you know. I call them the way I see it. Just because you think you're a First Amendment auditor or you're somebody out there exercising your First Amendments doesn't mean that I'm going to cover for you if I think you're doing something wrong or acting bad. I'm always, as I said earlier, I'm under the way I conduct myself is if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. So if the cop is nice to me and he's not investigating me, I am going to be nice back to them. You never know, you might need that cop one day. And I'm not saying because you're in trouble or something like that. Maybe there's something did happen and they'll call your name over the radio and that other cop will be there and say, hey, you know, I interacted with that guy, he's okay. That's what I mean by that. It never hurts to have. Kindness is really the way to go, probably in most cases, because you get what you reap. And that kid reaped some crap, and he got the crap thrown back at him. It's Gunnison Undercover. Till next time, people.
All I did was I waved at you as a nice gesture to you and your wife as you were walking. Okay? And then you turn around and flip me off.
Your point?
Okay? So I stopped to ask you what your problem is.
Is that a crime?
It's disorderly conduct.
It is not.
It is.
Did I offend you in
Yeah,
some
there's
way?
other people walking around. Look at these people, these kids.
These kids are seeing you.